Breaking tonight, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has reached a major milestone in the race for the White House on the night before the final round of primaries.
It's been sad, but then it's been hopeful that so many people are coming together.
How people in the Louisville neighborhood where Muhammad Ali grew up honored the greatest tonight.
An early taste of the 4th of July tonight, while Lexington city leaders held a trial run for the annual fireworks display.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. Tonight, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton made history. Estimates show she now has enough delegates to become the presumptive Democratic nominee.
And this comes on the night before the last round of primaries in California, New Jersey, and 4 other states. Danielle Nottingham has the breaking details.
Hillary Clinton is the first presumptive female presidential nominee in U.S. history. CBS News estimates she now has enough delegates to clinch the nomination.
We are on the brink of a historic, unprecedented moment.
Voters in 6 states go to the polls tomorrow, and Clinton says she still needs their votes.
We're going to fight hard for every single vote, especially right here in California.
Bernie Sanders says not so fast. In a statement, the campaign argued Clinton does not have the requisite number of pledged delegates to secure the nomination. She will be dependent on superdelegates who do not vote until the convention. This weekend, Sanders said he would force a contested convention, but backed off a bit today.
Let's assess where we are after tomorrow.
White House officials say President Obama is ready to officially endorse Clinton and will soon start campaigning with her. On the Republican side, Donald Trump is taking heat from prominent Republicans over his criticism of a U.S. district judge presiding over a Trump University lawsuit. Judge Gonzalo Curiel was born in Indiana to Mexican parents.
He's proud of his heritage, and I think that's great that he's proud of his heritage.
But you're saying it's a barrier to him doing his job.
Oh, he's not giving me fair. He's not treating me fairly.
Trump's campaign is urging supporters to defend his stance. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
From politics to the weather here in the Bluegrass. If you spend any time outside today, you probably noticed that the air felt much more comfortable with lower humidity.
It did, but a few storms did pop up tonight. So what's in store for our Tuesday? Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early check of your forecast.
How about temperatures that get even better coming up into the day tomorrow, guys? Courtesy of a cold front that is spawning a couple of those scattered thunderstorms you were just talking about. Had a little flash or two of lightning into parts of Scott County earlier. That is weakening across parts of the Moorhead area, though we're getting in on a little gust of winds coming out of that collapsing thunderstorm right on top of Cave Run Lake. Lexington Metro, pretty good shape now, though we cross the Ohio River, southern parts of Indiana. That's another little batch of some light rain that tries to scoot in here overnight tonight. Hour by hour future radar showing how anything that's out there is going to be fairly scattered right on into the day tomorrow, when we still have the threat, a small threat, for a shower or thunderstorm to go up. Upper 50s in the morning, low 70s coming up tomorrow afternoon with that mix of sun and clouds, gusty winds coming from the northwest. It's a September feel that is highlighting the forecast. We're going to get September before summer. What? That's right. A summer sizzle follows the September blast. Guys, we're going in reverse with an hour-by-hour forecast tonight at 11 in just a few.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. They say they just wanted to pay tribute to the greatest. Tonight, hundreds of people gathered outside Muhammad Ali's childhood home in Louisville for a memorial service.
As one of many memorials being held this week in Louisville honoring the boxing legend. He died last week after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. Sean Moody was at tonight's memorial. It's our top story at 11.
In the crowd that came out to Muhammad Ali's boyhood home, you might be surprised to hear there weren't many tears. In fact, the word most people talked about was hope.
It's been sad, but then it's been hopeful that so many people are coming together.
It gives you faith in humanity. It makes you think
that you can change.
It's quite the evolution.
Right.
Think that we might have a chance as humans.
Even in death, they said Muhammad Ali's spirit was still working to bring people of different backgrounds together.
Just look at what's taking place out here tonight. Christians, Muslims, I saw some Indians here. All of us are together.
People of all backgrounds, but maybe more importantly, people of all ages.
Dude, there's a lot of positive kids out here, and for them to come out and show the positivity, it just shows a lot about our youth.
You know, we have a lot of dope dealers in this community, but we don't have a lot of hope dealers in this community.
This crowd wants to be sure the young people who came out tonight take a lesson home.
We got to try harder and harder to make sure that these emotions right now carry on into some level of connective work to dealing with our social issues.
After the service tonight was over, organizers led the children and the rest of the people who came out tonight on a short march down Grand Avenue. Tonight was all about living by Ali's principles, and they wanted to take that message to the entire neighborhood.
Ali, Boumaye! Ali, Boumaye!
That's the rallying cry from Ali's fight against George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle. Organizers here hope each of these kids will strive to be the next greatest. In Louisville, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Tonight, we're learning more about memorial services for Ali that will be held later this week. The public memorial service will be held at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville Friday afternoon at 2. There are 15,000 free tickets available for that service. Those will be handed out beginning at 10 Wednesday morning at the Yum Center box office. You'll be able to watch that service as well live on WKYT.com. Also tonight, Ali's family announced that Will Smith will be one of the pallbearers at his funeral.
The actor who portrayed Ali in the movie Ali and a close family friend.
On Thursday, an Islamic funeral prayer program will be held at noon at Freedom Hall. It's also open to the public. 14,000 free tickets to that will be handed out at the Freedom Hall box office tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
New tonight, a close call for a Lexington police officer during a traffic stop. It happened around 9:30 tonight near the intersection of 2nd and Race Streets. Lexington police say the officer pulled over a black Dodge Charger because its temporary tag wasn't visible. As the officer approached the car, police say the person inside drove off, causing the car to nearly hit the officer. The officer was not injured. Police say they haven't found the driver yet, but they know who they're looking for. They say that person will be charged with fleeing police.
4 weeks from tonight, a large fireworks show will light up the sky as part of Lexington's 4th of July festival. And this year, the fireworks will have a new home.
Yeah, for years they have been launched downtown, but now the show will be along Alumni Drive near the Arboretum. And tonight, city leaders tested some fireworks at the new location. Monique Blair has the story new at 11.
Awesome! You may have seen these fireworks light up the sky tonight, but it was only a test run. The annual 4th of July fireworks show, paid for by sponsors, was moved this year from the longtime location of the R.J. Corman Rail Yard downtown.
The same exact show, just a different venue.
The Downtown Lexington Corporation had to pick a new location that cleared 600 feet in all directions.
That's why sites like Masterson Station or Jacobson Park weren't selected, because there's very limited entry and exit.
Commonwealth Stadium won't be open during the fireworks show, but all the parking lots surrounding the stadium will be open. And of course, the people who live nearby will be able to catch the show right from their homes.
I'm excited about it. You know, it's a lot of pluses.
The location near Commonwealth Stadium was also picked because the police already have a traffic management plan in place from having football games here. Rick Bryan's backyard backs up to the Arboretum, so he says he has some concerns about the traffic on his street.
If they don't put up no parking on one side of the street, then we've got a one-lane road that's going to go about a mile all the way, across.
But based on the test run tonight, one thing is certain.
Awesome!
There are sure to be a lot of firework fans out here on the 4th of July. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Now, the city needs your help. The Downtown Lexington Corporation is asking for anyone who may have seen the fireworks tonight from their home to email them so they can make a map showing where the best viewing locations will be. We have a link to that email for you at WKYT.com.
After investigating for a week, prosecutors have decided if they'll charge the mother of a boy who fell into the gorilla exhibit at the Cincinnati Zoo. That decision in 9 minutes.
But first, heavy rain and strong winds lashing much of the southeast tonight as Tropical Storm Colin moves ashore.
It's time to wake up. You've got things to do, mouths to feed, work to get done. It's another Kentucky morning. And Kentucky mornings start here.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith.
You don't have time to waste, so we don't waste your time. Simple as that. breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
Did you know that over 31% of injury-causing accidents are the result of rear-end collisions? Hi, I'm Kevin Renfro. It's a helpless feeling to look into a rearview mirror and see another car about to hit you. If you've been injured when another driver rear-ended you, you may be owed damages. Give us a call. We want to help you get all you've got coming to you. Serious, experienced results. Call the Becker Law Office for a free evaluation. Just dial 3s.
Are you tired of juggling your finances and can't afford those remodeling projects?
Surplus Sales has a huge selection of carpet at unbeatable prices.
Come on down to Surplus Sales for some great deals.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $260 million.
DQ funnel cake a la mode? Hold on.
The next hours. Cloudy tomorrow.
Funnel cake has a new home. The DQ Bakes new funnel cake a la mode with the world famous DQ soft serve and your favorite topping. This is fan food, not fast food.
Funnel cake a la mode.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of neonatologist Tanya Reed and learn more about our new North Tower. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
At Hair Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
19 pool tables and a full bar. Only at Silver Q on New Circle Road. Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Talk about an absolutely gorgeous Monday that is wrapping up. That is today. A taste of nice weather. Humidity levels are low. It's a sign of things to come over the next few. Let's jump into what's going on right now before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Gusty winds have been with us pretty much all day long, and that gusty wind is ahead of a cold front. And look how quickly we're getting in on some of these showers and earlier some thunderstorms out there to make their way on in from northwest to southeast. Cold front is right on top of northern Kentucky as of now. That has some chilly air coming in behind it. And I want you to notice the showers that are on top of Lake Michigan, just to the north of Chicago, back into parts of Wisconsin. That's a little disturbance in a northwesterly wind flow that will be on top of us tomorrow that can give us at least an isolated shower or a thunderstorm to go up. Now, this is a pattern, by the way, that if you were just telling me to look at the overall setup, you didn't tell me the date on it, I would swear it was a setup out of the month of September. Tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico, just now making landfall, by the way, on a poorly organized tropical storm, Colin, that is going to hug the southeastern seaboard. You've got that. You've got a big push of cool air coming in behind it. That is a weather map that is straight out of the middle or end of September. It is only June, though. Much cooler air blowing in tomorrow. Chance for a shower or isolated thunderstorm. Feels like September on Wednesday. Highs low 70s coming your way. Another absolutely fabulous day on Thursday. Still on the cool side of the thermometer. Hour by hour forecast. Brand new, hot off the presses. Let's look at it. Low 60s out the door tomorrow morning. 70 to 75 into many areas. Southern Kentucky, your numbers can come up a little bit compared to your neighbors to the north. Look at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. 68 Maysville. Notice a little isolated shower or a thunderstorm. And you also just notice the clouds coming in from northwest to southeast. Anytime you see that, that is a cooler wind, obviously, coming from the northwest. So by the time Wednesday morning rolls around, maybe a couple of upper 40s showing up. Middle of the day on Wednesday, noon, here we are, week 2 now of June, and it's mid-60s. Into the afternoon, low 70s come your way. Wednesday might turn out to be the absolute best day of the entire summer. And that's saying something because it's a very cool air mass that is again with us into the day on Thursday. 40s to start. 45 is the record low for Lexington on Thursday morning. Right now we're into the upper 40s. By the afternoon, 70s mostly with an 82 our west, and from there it is going to be game on toward a pattern that will feature summer after September. This is our little September preview over the next few days. Isolated shower thunderstorm tomorrow. Can't rule out a stray thunderstorm or two on Friday ahead of that push of some heat. I think we get our first 90 of the season this coming weekend. Typically though, guys, rule of thumb I have, anytime we see some heat that begins with a thunderstorm like what I expect on Friday, chances are that is not going to hang around very long. So I think the heat will give way to more storms early next week.
Other parts of the country going through real trouble right now.
They really are. And for folks who are vacationing into the Carolinas over the next few days, or if you have some friends or loved ones down there, what is left of Collins going to hug the coast. Ton of rain. It's mainly a rain and gusty wind producer, not a big storm.
Well, speaking of, let us show you some video. Tropical Storm Colin continuing to drench parts of the southeast tonight. As Chris said, heavy rain and strong winds have already knocked out power to some areas and flooded roads in northern Florida and southern Georgia. Tropical storm warnings are in place for much of Florida and up the Atlantic coast, North Carolina. Several inches of rain could fall from Florida through the Carolinas over the next few days.
Eastern Kentucky leaders meeting today to talk about ways to improve the region's economy, what they suggested in 7 minutes.
Exciting, creative, edgy, fun. A career in cosmetology is always in style, and Barrett & Company School of Hair Design can help you be a part of it. Success begins with proper training. Make it happen at Barrett & Company. Call today and enroll in Barrett & Company.
Someone else can get them dressed. Someone else can push the swing. Someone else can fix their lunch. Someone else can tuck them in. But they don't want someone else. They want you. Get checked for breast and cervical cancer. For information on free screenings, call 1-844-249-0708.
Here's a fun way to control your luck. It's a game called Keno. You can start with $1. You pick your numbers, your odds, and your wager. And the winnings, well, they could be major. Just pick your numbers and hope you win. A few minutes later, you can play it again. Now play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold.
Who says mornings can't be happy? Not us. Introducing the DQ Hardest Working Happy Hour, with drinks that work even harder than you do, blending sweet flavors like never before. Only DQ has drinks that multitask in the morning even if you can't. Like $2 premium fruit smoothies, $2 ultimate frappes, and $1 iced coffees. Every weekday morning until 10:30 a.m. at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. All of life's moments, big and small. Each triumph and challenge. Because you were made to live, and live well. And we're here to make sure you do. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic. Your doctors for life.
This new Rallies and Checkers strawberry smoothie is perfect for air conditioning my insides. That's heat-busting goodness for a super chill price. Introducing fruit and cream smoothies and Kool-Aid slushies. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
When you're in pain, nothing matters more than finding relief. Our strategy at the Pain Treatment Center of the Bluegrass is to provide an aggressive, cost-effective, multidisciplinary approach to reduce pain, restore function, and improve your quality of life. As the largest freestanding pain treatment facility in the Bluegrass, we provide extended care through our affiliated Joint Commission accredited surgery center, in-house imaging suite and lab, and our behavioral medicine specialists who address the emotional and psychological aspects of pain. Call for an appointment.
If you're looking for a career that is rewarding and always in style, start your training for a career in cosmetology at Barrett & Company. Day and night classes are enrolling, so begin your journey into a fashion-forward career in cosmetology and call today and enroll in Barrett & Company.
The mother of a boy who fell into the gorilla exhibit at the Cincinnati Zoo will not be facing any charges.
Prosecutors in Cincinnati made the announcement today, saying they could not find a reason to charge her. They say the mother was attending to all of her children at the time, and the boy simply got away from her. A video showing the gorilla dragging the boy through the water at the exhibit on May 28th. Zoo workers shot and killed that gorilla to rescue the boy. Investigators say he climbed over an outer barrier before falling about 15 feet into the exhibit. They say the boy was lucky he survived.
Quite frankly, I don't know how he wasn't hurt. He did not have a concussion. He did not have broken bones. He may have just tumbled and landed flat on his back.
In a statement released this afternoon, the boy's family said they're pleased that no charges will be filed. The gorilla exhibit is expected to reopen tomorrow with a taller barrier. New tonight, Lexington police are trying to figure out how thousands of dollars worth of rings were stolen from a jewelry store in Fayette Mall. It happened yesterday afternoon at the Pandora store. Police say a man and a woman walked into the store, then left, but later came back, carrying a bag from another store. Police say the woman bought something and left, followed by the man. And moments later, police say Pandora workers noticed a tray of rings was missing from a display case. Police say the tray had 200 to 300 rings on it, worth about $20,000.
The trial of a man accused of killing a Lexington man and stuffing his body in a barrel started today. Mark Taylor has been charged with murder and kidnapping for the 2013 death of Alex Johnson. Lexington police say they found Johnson's body in the Kentucky River. During opening statements, prosecutors said Taylor picked up Johnson at his apartment, then beat him to death in Taylor's car. They say Taylor then had the car cleaned and later destroyed. Johnson's mother also took the stand today. Taylor's attorney asked her if she knew her son sold large amounts of marijuana.
No, I didn't know at any time that he was.
Johnson's girlfriend is also expected to testify, along with Timothy Ballard, who pled guilty to kidnapping and evidence tampering. He's testifying against Taylor as part of his plea deal. A man now charged with killing a Laurel County couple last year says he's not guilty. Bradley Lawson was arraigned on murder, robbery, and other charges today. He was already in federal custody on drug charges. Police say Lawson killed Donnie and Sharon Jackson during a violent robbery. Court records show Lawson has faced robbery charges before and served 2 years in prison after a 2010 robbery. The judge set a $500,000 bond for Lawson in the double murder case.
The annual Shaping Our Appalachian Region Summit was held today in Pikeville, and leaders talked about the challenges Eastern Kentucky still faces. Congressman Hal Rogers said there's no one solution that will fix all of the region's problems, but the governor suggested Kentucky's broadband internet initiative should focus on Eastern Kentucky first.
Reality is we started to broaden it, so now we were going to cover everything. And we were going to wire the whole state, and while that's admirable, if you try to be everything to everybody, you end up being nothing to anybody.
Governor Bevin also announced a $15 million endowment using coal severance and other funding to pay for economic development projects in Eastern Kentucky. The state baseball tournament starts later this week, Rob.
That is right. Scott County will be in it for the first time. We'll hear from the Cards, and we'll hear from the honorees at the annual Governor's Cup. Rich Brooks and Dion Branch among them. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Sunny days are here again. Visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond for all your gardening needs. Seeds, starter plants, bulbs, and more. Great gardens start here. Visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
CareSource insures thousands of members in Kentucky. But we're not built on numbers. We're built on compassion and care. Our commitment? People over profit. CareSource. Caring for the Commonwealth.
Come celebrate National Barbecue Month with all-you-can-eat St. Louis ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. An endless helping of sweet and smoky or dry rub ribs for just $14.99 for a limited time. Sonny's Barbecue, local pit masters since '68.
Having trouble with your lawn equipment? Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond has the answer. Whether you need us to service your older power equipment or replace it with the latest still technology, visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $260 million, and Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $123 million.
At Subway, you'll love our go-to favorites, like the classic tuna with creamy mayo and your choice of fresh veggies, like spinach and cool, crunchy cucumbers, all on freshly baked 9-grade wheat bread. Try our tuna sandwich today. Subway, fresh is what we do.
You may be entitled to $1,500 for each call you've received from any company collecting a debt. Seems too good to be true, but it's the law.
There's nothing like making their day, except making sure their tomorrow is taken care of too. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
At Batteries Plus Bulbs, you can save up to $10 on Duracell Ultra lawn and garden batteries and make all that grass go away. Batteries Plus Bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus Bulbs today.
Every house has electricity. Shouldn't every house have an electrician?
Don't go on vacation this year, bring it to you with your own pool from Backyard Living Pool, Spas, and more. San Juan fiberglass pool packages starting as low as $25,999. Vinyl liner in-grounds starting as low as $17,999. And Doughboy above ground pools starting at $2,999. Financing and same as cash available. Don't forget your Hayward and Pentair equipment products as well as BioGuard chemicals and supplies. Hurry in to Backyard Living Pool, Spas, and more and get your vacation started today.
Savor something different every day. Just ask for the $3 sub of the day at Subway restaurants. A different 6-inch sub every day for only $3. 7 days, 7 subs, $3. Subway, founded on fresh.
The final game of the football season is a long, long way off, but the annual UK U of L Governor's Cup luncheon is tomorrow at Frankfort Country Club. Tonight at the Governor's Mansion, the coaches, former players, and this year's honorees gathering for a cocktail party and charity auction. Those honored tonight, former coaches Rich Brooks and John L. Smith, and former players Dion Branch, Jeremy Jarman, Jim Kovach, and Mark Sander. Several of those we spoke to said they liked the idea of playing the game at the end of the season.
I got ripped pretty good for wanting to change the game till later in the season because most of the rivalry games I'd ever been associated with were at the end of the year, and certainly with the league season being over for both teams and having this at the end of the season, it's a huge football game.
Right now, at the end of the year, that's where the rival game should be, at the end of the year. So, yeah, we should be like every other big-time program, big-time state, and we've got a big-time rivalry in the state of Kentucky.
You know, you want to kind of put it in the mix with all the other major rivalries. You got the Auburn, Alabama, the Florida State, Florida games, Georgia, Georgia Tech. So I feel that it's only right that we do have the game at the end.
While we're talking football, Kentucky is the first to offer a scholarship to Rondell Moore, who played last year at New Albany High School in Indiana. Moore will play this season for the Trinity Shamrocks. He is a junior slot receiver, 5'8", 165. Moore had 688 yards rushing, 464 yards receiving last season. Kentucky does not yet have a commitment for the class of 2018. Scal LaBissiere looking forward to the NBA draft, which is coming up now in just 17 days on June 23rd. Scal put together a good workout Sunday at the Relativity Sports Pro Day down in Bradenton, Florida. He talked with Alex Kennedy of Basketball Insiders about the possibility of being a lottery pick.
But I'm working wherever I get picked. I just hope, it's nice to be picked really high. But it's all about the right fit. I've seen guys drafted over the years in the top 10, top 15, top 5 or whatever, and they never flourish in the league. For me, it's all about, I want to be a long-time player in this league. It's all about finding the right system, the right coach that's going to put me in the right position to succeed.
John Calipari will be coaching his son in the upcoming season. The new players reporting over the weekend, and it's now official with Brad Calipari as he enrolled in summer school. He started at LCA, finished his prep career at the McDuffie School in Massachusetts. Last summer, the younger Calipari played for the Kentucky Travelers Basketball Club, averaged 3 points in about 10 minutes per game. Said Cal, "I'm excited for Brad. I'm so proud of how hard he's worked to get to this stage. Brad chose to go to prep school on his own, and it ended up being a great decision. It was also his decision to be a part of this team. With that said, I'm looking forward to coaching my son." Friday night, the Scott County Cardinals will play in the KHSAA Baseball State Tournament for the first time. The Cardinals will play Caldwell County in the opening round. Before Scott County takes the field, 6 other games will have been played. So the Cards will have a feel for the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think you go into the first game of the state and people might be a little bit nervous. People might be a little bit uptight. And I think after you see the game played, it's still baseball. Then nothing changes, so just a few more people there to watch.
Everybody knows we're fairly young, started about 4, 5, 6 sophomores, so you know, a lot of times the atmosphere there at Whitaker Bank Park can get you a little bit, and you have to be able to concentrate, you know, the entire time that you're up there.
And Kent Bull of Glasgow qualified today for the U.S. Open. He shot 69-64 in Roswell, Georgia. He earns a spot at Oakmont next week. We'll be right back.
I'm John Morgan. For almost 30 years, we've had the opportunity to help you at one of your most desperate hours. An accident takes seconds to occur, but the injuries, loss of income, and medical bills can last a long time, even a lifetime. Our job is to make sure that your justice compensates you for your pain and suffering and protects your family for the rest of your life. Remember, I'm not just a lawyer, I'm your lawyer. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
A home is the largest investment most families make. It's important to choose a contractor with the knowledge and experience to guide you through the home building process. From selecting the right lot to selecting the finishes that make your home unique, M.A. Conley Construction is by your side from beginning to end. Our experience brings value to every home we complete. M.A. Conley Construction, a Madison County family serving all of Central Kentucky.
DQ funnel cake a la mode? Hold on!
For the next hours. Cloudy tomorrow.
Funnel cake has a new home. The DQ Bakes new funnel cake a la mode with the world famous DQ soft serve and your favorite topping. This is fan food, not fast food.
Funnel cake a la mode.
Folks have been taking the short drive to satisfaction for over 20 years. Not only Winchester folks, but folks all across the state and even across the country. And who wouldn't come here? With over 2,500 vehicles to choose from here in Winchester, Kentucky. No matter if it's 100 miles or the short drive from Lexington, our staff will help you start your journey. Tim Short Chevrolet.
Do you have a dream of exploring the open roads or traveling with family? It's time to get started. And Day Brothers RV in London is home to the largest selection of RVs and travel trailers in southern Kentucky, with brands like Thor, Coachman, Heartland, Fleetwood, and Winnebago. The selection has never been larger, and the features have never been more luxurious. Explore in comfort. Explore your way. Explore more options with Day Brothers RV in London.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
The The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include James Corden and Scott Speedman. Watch out, James Corden. Coming to that show. Watch out.
He's good. He's taking over. Heading into the day tomorrow, guys, September is ready to take over. Emoji Cast, 8 o'clock in the morning, some upper 50s around any point tomorrow. Can feature an isolated shower thunderstorm. Most areas stay dry, 70 to 75 into most of the afternoon. That's a good looking forecast. That'll carry us into Wednesday, too. Wednesday may end up being the best day of the entire summer.
I think Stephen Colbert is going to do some carpool karaoke with him. That'd be hilarious.
That would be very good, actually.
Thanks for watching.